G'day, I'm Graeme Kelly. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of EW Tipping Foundation, and this is one in a series of videos we're undertaking with influential people and leaders in our sector. Today we're talking to Bernie Geary, who's the Principal Commissioner for Children and Young People in the work that he does. So Bernie, it's now been more than 12 months since you've taken up this new role with the change in legislation which now makes you the Principal Commissioner for Young People and Children. What's your assessment of how it's gone in the first 12 months?
One of the things that it has allowed me to do is I'm a bit like a helicopter flying right across the services, whereas in the past I was more concentrating on the services around the community Department of Human Services. The biggest improvement I think has been that capacity to work more broadly across government. I've found that one of the biggest issues that we've had that I've noticed over the 8 previous years was the frustration around people's lack of capacity to work with each other.
Bernie, in our role in out-of-home care, what's the one thing that we could do as an organisation to improve?
Without sounding too Father Flanaganish, I think the best thing we can be doing for young people who live in out-of-home care is to listen properly to them. I really don't think that their voices are heard very well, and I think that that's because as professionals in this cohort we can get pretty caught up with the passion and the intensity of it, and sometimes what drops out, surprisingly enough, is the voice of the child.
Let's say you were appointed as the person responsible for training staff who look after kids in out-of-home care. What advice would you give them?
Important not to get too full of yourself and huff and puff, and remember, as I said, that the voice of the young person is what's important. Because I've had a phone call from a young person that I worked with about 20 years ago who was really cross with me, told one of the workers here that he saw me say something in the media and he said, how come Bernie Geary is making a statement like this when he left me in limbo, blah, blah, blah. And I had to ring him. I remembered this young man well. He was an intellectually disabled boy who was in fact abused, and I felt that I'd done pretty well. I'd actually given evidence. I'd actually physically removed him from the situation and given evidence against the perpetrator. But the thing that amazed me was, for more than 20 years, he felt that I'd blamed him. And I found that really distressing, and so it's made me think a lot harder about the last thing we should say, to remember what the last thing we say to our clients or the people we work with.
So Bernie, as a person with a lot of experience in this sector, what's your view of what it takes to be a good worker with kids?
I think the sort of person who does well in this work and lasts in it is a person, and I was probably alluding to it before, is the sort of person that listens and communicates well. That people need in all walks of life to be connected with, and we need to first connect and then move on with our work.
So Bernie, now with very much a leadership role as I have in the sector, what do you think are the characteristics of a good leader?
Well, in turn, if we're asking people to connect with those people that they serve, we certainly as leaders need to connect properly with those we lead. In this managing situation I am here, nothing I like better, because I really do believe that underneath it all I'm still just a fat old youth worker. So I love to get out to see young people, whether it's in schools or the residential care system or anywhere in the street. I'd like people to know that the Commission is here and to use it in the best way they think possible, and also just to endorse and acknowledge the great work that tipping does in the community for young people. So congratulations to you people too.